Welcome to EPG Pathshala on the subject Social Medicine and Community Health. I am Dr. C.P. Mishra, working as Professor in the Department of Community Medicine, Institute of Medical Sciences, Banaras Hindu University. I shall be discussing the module National Mental Health Program, which belongs to the paper National Health Programs and Policies. This module has been developed by a team comprising of various experts from the different parts of the country. The learning objectives that has been set for this session is, after going through this session, one should be able to describe the problem of mental health in India and describe the objectives and strategies of the National Mental Health Program. Since inception of planning process in this country, emphasis was placed on improving health of the people of India, and it was realized that survival, children and mother, and diseases were quite frequent in the country. Gradually it was realized that mental health is also an important problem in our country, and in the perspective of definition of WHO of health, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. It is realized that mental health is an integral and essential component of health. World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, and can work productively and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. In this positive sense, mental health is the foundation for an individual's well-being and the effective functioning of the community. Burden of mental health problems. The burden includes both the quantum of the problem and its consequences. In the international scenario is that the prevalence of mental disorders as per WHO report 2001 is around 10%, and it is predicted that the burden of disorders is likely to increase to 15% by 2020. Who has given due recognition and importance to the mental health, as it is obvious from their theme of the World Health Day 2001, World Health Assembly 15 May 2001, and World Health Report 2001, with mental health as the main focus. Coming to the Indian scenario, according to various community-based surveys, prevalence of mental disorders in India is around 6 to 7% for common mental disorders and 1 to 2% for severe mental disorders. The rate of psychiatric disorders in children between 4 to 16 years is about 12%, and nearly 1/3 of the population is less than 14 years of age in our country. So this becomes the cumulative effect becomes very huge. The various risk factors and protective factors related to mental health are: risk factors of mental health are access to drugs and alcohol, displacement, isolation, alienation, particularly loneliness in old age people, lack of education, transport, housing, neighborhood disorganization, peer rejection, poverty, poor nutrition, poor social circumstances, racial injustice and discrimination, social disadvantage, urbanization, work stress, and war, violence, and so on. So there are several risk factors. All of them are amenable. Protective factors for mental health is empowerment, and empowerment can be obtained from various approaches: education, employment, equity in all spheres of life. Ethnic minorities integration, then become a force, and positive interpersonal relationships, social participation, social responsibility and tolerance, existence of social services, social support and community networks. These are the protective factors. Now, if you look at the status of manpower in mental health, there is a huge shortage. As per the National Survey of Mental Health Resources carried out by Director General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, during May and July 2002, the details of present requirement and ability of mental health professionals in the country are as follows. Psychiatrists requirement was 11,500 and availability was just 2,800. Clinical psychologists requirement 17,250, availability 898 only. Psychiatric social worker requirement was estimated to be 23,000 and social workers in place were only 850. Psychiatric nurses 3,000 and the availability was only just 50%, that is 1,500. Now, while drafting National Mental Health Program, 5 factors contributed significantly. The first factor was a set of recommendations by the Expert Committee of World Health Organization, the Organization of Mental Health Services in Developing Countries. This was the first document that served as the basis. Then, starting of Community Mental Health Unit at National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bangalore, a very premier institution in the country, in 1975. Sakalwara project. The third factor which contributed was the multi-country project of WHO, strategies for extending mental health services to the community from 1976 to 1981, and the declaration of Alma Ata for Health for All by 2000 AD, it was set in 1978, and ICMR DST collaborative project on severe mental disability. These documents served as the basis for initiating the draft for National Mental Health Program. And once this was drafted, the objectives that was set in the program was, number one, to ensure the availability and accessibility of minimum mental health care for all in the foreseeable future, particularly the most vulnerable and underprivileged sections of the population. The second objective has been to encourage the application of mental health knowledge in general health care and in social development. It was emphasized that mental health must be integrated in the general health services. To promote community participation in the mental health service development. And the community participation, the levels of participation again will be in planning of the program, in execution of the program, in utilization of the program, and in monitoring and evaluation of the program. So community participation in mental health services development and to stimulate efforts towards self-help in the community. Now, approaches of National Mental Health Program. The first approach had been diffusion of mental health skills to the periphery of health services. It was realized that the generalists, general health, for people who are delivering general health services in the periphery, their skills should be upgraded in the area of mental health so that they can be able to contribute to the problem of mental health. Then appropriate appointments of tasks, equitable and balanced distribution of resources. That's another dimension for provision of National Mental Health Program, because unless there are inputs, the services cannot be taken up on the priority on the optimum level. Then integration of basic health care with general health services. This was the basic premises, not only just for dealing with the shortages, but it was realized that a generalist approach will be much better than isolated approach. Link it with community development, because most of the root causes of mental disease lies into the social development indicators. Then second component was, once mental problems are identified, treatment becomes very important, and many times even in spite of treatment also there will be certain some cases which may require rehabilitative services. So the last part becomes rehabilitation becomes an important component. Of course, it goes beyond saying that all efforts should be made to root out the causes that leads to mental disorders, and their prevention becomes very vital. A strength of National Mental Health Program document drafted in the year 1982. It envisages the integration of mental health structure with general primary health care system. Weakness of this model of care is, number one, emphasize more on curative component rather than on preventive and promotive components. There are many risk factors as we have discussed earlier, and unfortunately, the document emphasize more on curative components. Preventive and promotive components are more vital. Role of support of families in the treatment of patient was ignored. Most of the mental health problems can be tackled at the family level, and family cooperation in the management of these cases are very vital. Therefore, the document has not given due emphasis on the role of support of the family in the treatment of the patients. Short-term goals was given priority over the long-term planning. Mental health is an area which requires very long planning. Initially, the short-term goals have been envisaged. The administrative structure of the program was not clearly outlined. No estimation of the budgetary support were made, because this mental health requires a lot of budgetary inputs. Review of the progress made during 1982 to 1988. During 1982 to 88, it concluded that the financial constraint restricted the program, and they said that budgetary plans were not to that order, which will be able to tackle all the issues, capacity building, infrastructural support, logistic support, and so on. During 1982 to 82, it was observed that there existed a financial constraint that is substantiated further by the 9th plan 5-year outlays. Rupees 28 crores was allocated to National Mental Health Program. National Mental Health Program was launched with certain changes in 2003. 10th plan, 5-year review plan, to extend the mental health program into 100 districts was allocated only rupees 139 crores. Now, in 11th 5-year plan, the focus was on, number one, establishing centers of excellence in mental health. Number two, increasing intake capacity in starting postgraduate courses in psychiatry. Moderation of mental hospital, upgradation of medical colleges and psychiatry departments. Focus on non-governmental organizations and private sector partnerships. Again, most of the focus that was directed towards tertiary healthcare. Media campaign to address the stigma issue, particularly the stigma that attached to the mental health problems. Many times it is observed that if in case referred to psychiatric department, patients are reluctant to go. They say that I don't have any problem that I should go to psychiatric department. So this stigma has to be removed. We focus on research and several other measures, because research is an area which gives us real direction for development of a particular health services. Training in basic mental health care in a decentralized manner. Huge infrastructure is required, because infrastructure, manpower, and training capacity and financial supports are required to be provided efficient training for a huge manpower that are available in the primary health sector. Provision of 6 instances psychotropic and anti-epileptic drugs are desired. Mental health team at the district headquarters should be fully functional. The system of simple mental health case records, monthly reporting, regular monitoring, and feedback from the district level mental health team is required. Pilot district mental health program at Bellary in Karnataka was started. This began with training in the basic mental health care in a decentralized manner, and provision of the 6 essential psychotropic and anti-epileptic drugs was made. Mental health team at the district headquarters was there. A system of simple mental health case records, monthly reporting, regular monitoring, and feedback form for the district was available. District level mental health team was available. So this pilot project provided certain basic outputs that helped in launching district mental health program. And in 1996, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, formulated district mental health program under National Mental Health Program as a fully central funded program. and the Bellary experience has contributed to this. Objectives of the district mental health program had been: number one, to provide sustainable basic mental health services in community and integration of these with other services. Number two, early detection and treatment in community itself to ensure ease of caregivers, to take pressure off mental hospitals, to reduce stigma, to rehabilitate patients within the community. So it was said that the isolated care of mental cases are not required to detect and refer cases of epilepsy, because epilepsy is a quite significant problem among the various mental conditions. Now, this district mental health program, which has adopted the approach developed in the pilot project at Bellary, the first approach was training of medical, paramedical personnel and community leaders. Why training? Because people must be able to advise about mental problems. They must be able to understand what are the factors that lead to mental health problem. They must be able to understand the triggers that will help them to detect persons at risk of mental health diseases. Community mental health care through existing infrastructure of the health services. It was envisaged that the approach will be a horizontal one, not a vertical system will be established, because vertical system establishment is neither desired nor it will be cost effective. Why it is not desired? Because most of the patients go to the for general health care and they are managed at the PSCs and CSC. The information, education, and communication activities in this area is certainly very important. The district mental health program was launched during 1996 and 97 in 4 districts. During the 11th 5-year plan, district mental health program was extended to 27 districts spread all over the country. District mental health program was restructured during the 10th 5-year plan. District mental health program was expanded and more components were added to make it more comprehensive. In the 11th 5-year plan, district mental health program was spread to 123 districts in 30 states and union territories. Basic mental health care facilities at outdoor facilities, inpatient facilities were provided, and referral services. There are 3 services and follow-up services. So, basic mental health staff pattern at the district mental health officer, a nodal officer was identified. Psychiatrist had been in place, clinical psychiatrist had been posted, and psychiatric social worker. So, team and staff nurse. This was the basic team. Then, based on the evaluation conducted by Indian Council of Marketing Research in 2008 and feedback received from a series of consultations on district mental health program has been restructured and important areas were identified. School mental health services, life skill education in schools, and counseling. In fact, in today's era, school children are at a very put to stress because of huge competition, because of peer pressure, because of parental pressure. There is an element of radiant anxiety which is coming from their parents, because parents are always worried about their scholastic performance. So, WHO has emphasized on life skill education. That is upgradation of skills, coping skills of children, self-esteem, coping skill, decision-making, and so on, particularly for adolescents and school children. So, life skill education in schools and counseling to find out people at risk had been an important dimension. College counseling services through trained teachers and counselors are invoked so that students who are in stress, who are difficult to cope with, can be taken care of. Workplace stress management, formal and informal sector, both including farmers and women, etc. So, workplace stress needs minimization, because unless that is taken care of, the output given by particular individual in a particular work will be less. Suicide prevention services, counseling center at district level, sensitization workshop, IC and helplines are needed, because a lot of people are attempted suicide rates, particularly in many countries or many parts of the country, are rising. Manpower development schemes in 11th 5-year plan. Scheme A, establishment of 11 centers of excellence in the field of mental health by upgrading and strengthening existing mental health hospitals and institutes. 44 psychiatrists have been, 176 clinical psychiatrists, psychologists have been envisaged. 176 psychiatric social workers have been granted during the 11th 5-year plan, and 220 psychiatric nurses have been. These are the. Then scheme B was strengthening of 30 units of psychiatry, 30 department of clinical psychology, 30 department of psychiatric social work, and 30 department of psychiatric nursing, with the financial support to the PG departments. A lot of inputs have been gone in manpower development, human resource developments. 60 psychiatrists, 240 clinical psychologists, 240 psychiatric social workers, and 600 psychiatric nurses. So these three schemes have been launched, Scheme A and Scheme B. So together, the professional inputs were quite high. Information, education and communication. The awareness regarding mental illness, availability of treatment and provisions of Mental Health Act 1987 is very low among the masses. So all measures have been taken so that people are made aware about mental illnesses, availability of treatment and provisions of Mental Health Act. The funds are allocated at the center and state level for IC activity. At the district level, the IC activities are conducted under the district mental health program. As I said earlier, research and training has been important input. There is a paucity of research data in the field of mental health in our country, and efforts are being made for promotion of research in our country in general, and particularly in the mental health field in particular. Under this component of National Mental Health Program, the support provided to various institutes and organizations for carrying out basic, applied, and operational research in the field of mental health. There is an effort to move beyond even operational research, like translational research or transformative research in the area of mental health. Short-term skill-based training will be given to district mental health team at some identified institutes. Financial support is provided for standard treatment guidelines, training modules, and CMEs and so on, so that, and also short learning courses in mental health and surveys. According to Mental Health Act 1987, there is a provision at the central level and the state level. They have been assigned the responsibility of development, regulation, and coordination of mental health services in state and unity. The implementation of the Mental Act 1987. Then monitoring and evaluation of the program. For this purpose, national level institutions are entrusted with the responsibility to evaluate the models of care, training of different categories of personnel, and monitoring of mental health programs. This is desired because whatever model that are in vogue, they should be taken into consideration whether they are effective, they are going in the right direction or not. Mainstreaming National Mental Health Program into NRHM and National Urban Health Mission. Government of India has launched initially in 2005 National Rural Health Mission, and now National Urban Health Mission is in vogue. Both have been combined into National Health Mission. There has been an intensified effort to mainstream the components of National Mental Health Program under the National Health Mission, so as to enable the states to plan requirements concerning mental health services for their specific area. The existing districts where district mental health program is presently under implementation continue to support under the National Rural Health Mission on the existing norms. Role of non-governmental organization national mental health programs is quite pertinent because the outreach of national mental health services in remote areas and difficult areas are very less, and therefore it is required that non-governmental organizations may supplement the activities of the public health sector And there is an immense role of non-governmental organizations in the mental health program. They can contribute to IEC activities, demand generation for services, and they can support for health promotion using life skill approach, support for follow-up of severely mentally ill persons in the community, support for mentally retarded children and their families, and organization of mental health camps, networking with primary health care team. So, and facilitation of welfare benefits to the mentally ill and mentally challenged people. So the role of NGOs has a very wide spectrum, right from IC activities and supporting health promotion using life skill approach and so on. District mental health program in 12th 5-year plan, the key principles of district mental health program in the 12th 5-year plan, which is in vogue from 2012 to 2017, a life course perspective. So 12th plan emphasizes on a life course perspective, a recovery perspective, an equity perspective, an evidence-based perspective, and a healthcare system perspective, and a right-based perspective. So a lot of emphasis has been given, and the primary objective that has been set in the 12th plan is to reduce the distress, disability, and premature mortality related to mental health, and invests recovery from mental illness by ensuring that availability and accessibility to mental health care for all, particularly the most vulnerable and underprivileged sections of the population. 12th plan in general emphasizes on universal coverage, and this pertains to mental health as well. District mental health program will be extended to the remaining 161 districts. Upgradation of the remaining 39 medical colleges, psychiatry, and 20 mental hospitals. Central and state mental health authorities will be further reinforced, and augmentation of IEC activities. Comprehensive assessment and performance appraisal at national and state level. This is very, very important. Now, looking at the entire spectrum, we have considered health according to WHO that has right now 4 dimensions: physical health, mental health, social health, and emotional health. We have to understand that mental health is interlinked with physical health as well, social health as well, and spiritual health, a dimension of health also. Mental health problems are rising because of many reasons: lot of stress, particularly younger children, lot of stress in genetic population because of loneliness, because of financial constraints are in vogue, and therefore Government of India has rightly started National Mental Health Program, and this program has undergone several changes from time to time, and currently it has adopted a very comprehensive approach, emphasizing upon creation for awareness for mental health problems in a community, and also sensitizing or capacity building of the primary healthcare system to detect mental health problems and refer to particular to specific places. Now, keeping the objectives set into a 12th 5-year plan, it appears that the country's capacity has been enhanced to an extent that we are in position to provide mental health services to the people of India. However, there are many other issues that needs to be considered, particularly the continuity of care, the outreach services at the remote and district areas, and provision of services to the vulnerable sections of population. National Health Mission and the 12th plan document, which emphasizes universal health coverage as an instrument, which talks of providing health care to the people without any hardships. Envisages that physical health, mental health, and other dimensions of health will be promoted. Mental health will receive its due priority. Thank you very much for visiting PG Pathshala.